My name is Noted. I was born in 2009, and I'm a YBM To익kgrandslammer Master, as well as an OPI Superior speaker in OPIC, which is the highest level on that test. Now sometimes, when I post on social media or in TOEIC communities about these language exams, people ask me questions like, is one of your parents a native English speaker? Did you study abroad or go to the States? Did you go to an English academy for a long time? Now, first of all, both my parents are Korean. They can read English to some extent, but they can't speak it at all. And I've never studied abroad, and I've never gone to any private English academy. Apparently, I attended an English kindergarten for about 5 months when I was really young, just to learn the alphabet and phonics. But these days, you can learn all that through YouTube, so I don't think it really made a big difference or anything. I've never viewed English as just a subject to study for exams. To me, it's always been a tool to communicate with people from around the world, and that's how I still see it. Today I want to share how I managed to score perfectly on tests without forcing myself to memorize vocabulary and simply by enjoying English. I'll also talk about why so many people still choose the wrong approach to studying English. When I was younger, I never really studied for English tests. Before my first TOEIC test, I didn't even have a TOEIC textbook. I did zero studying specifically for the exam. Right up until that first test, I was just using English in my daily life here in Korea. Now you might be asking, how do I do that in Korea? Well, I use Discord to talk with dozens of foreign friends every day, exchanging opinions, chatting, gaming, basically using English as a natural communication tool while having fun at the same time. By treating English as a normal part of my life, I could immerse myself in it without feeling forced. Of course, it wasn't easy from the start. Now in 5th grade, I discovered a foreign gaming YouTuber, and I ended up joining their Discord server. And that's where my real practical English journey began. Now, was I good at English right away? Absolutely not. I got teased a lot for being a little kid who couldn't speak English that well. Sure, I wasn't a complete beginner, but nobody's good from day one. And I had a typical elementary school English vocabulary at the time. And the English I learned in Korea was obviously different from the way people actually spoke in real conversations. Even among adults in Korea, talking with an elementary schooler can sometimes be frustrating, right? But elementary school kids can still handle everyday life in their own language, and it's similar in English. Even if you communicate at an elementary school level in English, you can still manage everyday conversation. Now, back to the main part. That's how I kept enjoying English and using it as I played and talked with others. And then in 8th grade, I happened to take the TOEIC and TOEIC speaking exams for the first time ever, and I scored 965 points on the normal TOEIC exam, and I got advanced low or AL on the TOEIC speaking exam. Now at the time I didn't know what TOEIC even was. I just thought it was like a school English test, and after the TOEIC test they gave me a discount coupon for TOEIC speaking, so I just took it for fun. I didn't have a single book for either of those tests, by the way. It was all just for fun. So let's just think about this for a second. How was that possible? Well, you know how a lot of people that study English for hours, they never actually seem to improve. I'm sure you know the reason. It's because they're using the wrong methods of approaching English. Have you ever heard of this saying before? There's no such thing as a genius. There's only a genius method. And you'll soon notice that people who are really good at foreign languages often say something along those lines. And if you get too caught up in memorizing words for tests and drilling practice questions, you'll never truly develop real English skills. Take TOEIC as an example. It only tests listening and reading. Now imagine someone who studies intensely every day for months, all for a high TOEIC score. Yes, their listening and reading scores might go up, but their speaking might stay weak. On top of that, TOEIC listening is quite different from real-life listening. And that's why I believe you should prioritize enjoying English in your daily life before you actually worry about your test scores. Don't just see English as a tool for racking up points on your exams. Think of it as a way of communication, a tool that can be a part of your life. But of course, If you desperately need a specific score right now and don't really care about building true English fluency or skills, you can just stop watching this video right here. But if you have at least a year left and you want to improve your English skills and test scores at the same time, then I suggest that you keep watching. The method I've been using since 5th grade is actually incredibly simple. The first part of using my method is that you need to enjoy English without any stress. This includes test score stress, so you don't need any pressure about test scores. Just have fun with movies, games, and YouTube videos in English. The second part is that you need to gain experience in actual situations where you need to use English. Try and chat with overseas friends and push yourself to have real English conversations with them. The third part is pretty simple. Create a natural learning routine. Get a little bit of English exposure every once in a while, instead of focusing on test preparations. Focus on building genuine English skill. Now, if you do this and truly have fun, you'll suddenly notice your English has significantly improved. And the most important part here is that it has to be fun, because if you enjoy it, you'll stay motivated and you won't feel any stress. And the clear sense of motivation also helps. Perhaps you want to work for a foreign company. Maybe you want to make foreign friends or even date someone who speaks another language. Maybe you want to move to a better company, but they need test scores or any English skills. Maybe you want to go to a better college. Now, my biggest motivation was simply talking and playing with friends from other countries. I hope my story gets you thinking about your own approach to learning English. Are you studying English just to pass an exam? Or are you building real skills through enjoyment, and then taking tests as a byproduct? If you force yourself to study only for a certain test score, you might miss out on a bigger picture that you failed to see. But if you fall in love with English first, then high scores often follow very naturally. If you're not satisfied with your current method, maybe now's the time to switch things up. But of course, if your test-focused studying has already paid off and you can communicate well in real life too, then your method isn't wrong at all. In fact, there's more than one way to succeed. But the approach I recommend is especially for people who've been studying forever without real progress, and those who want both real English proficiency and good exam results. Choose a life that enjoys English. Please subscribe, give a thumbs up, and share your own English study stories in the comments. English can be the best tool to expand your life. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.